All right. Looks like we are live. But I gotta go grab my phone for the sound check. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I misplaced my phone. Let's get the speech chat up and running. See what's up, Lincoln Clay. It's my birthday. Sorry about that, folks. I misplaced my phone. What's up, Lincoln? It's my birthday. I'm officially an old man. Well, happy birthday to you, DJ. Um, where did I get my shirt? If that's what you're asking, Shaolin, I got this from the Detroit Grand Prix a couple of years ago. I went to the Detroit Grand Prix and picked this shirt up. And yeah, it was a little bit pricier than I would like. It was 65 bucks. But the other two racing shirts that I wear, I bought from 4D Racewear, and I definitely recommend checking out 4dracewear.com for your racing apparel needs. Oh, the big 35. Congratulations. The big 35. Congratulations. Yeah, as I was saying about the 4D Racewear, they've got your racing apparel needs. They've got these. No, I'm not from Detroit. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is about 2 hours west of Detroit. So, if you would look at Michigan like your hand, um, let me see. Let me go like this because that's the best way. Well, I can do it like that too. So, if my hand is the state of Michigan, Detroit is right around there where my finger's at. And Grand Rapids is right here about where my pinky knuckle is. So you're basically driving across the state to get to Detroit. So yeah, It's about a 2.5 hour drive. But yeah, once you get inside of Detroit, like towards downtown, the traffic's pretty heavy. So I think some of the big cities that I've been to where the traffic was pretty thick was yeah, yep. Let me see. Detroit's got some pretty thick traffic towards downtown. So does Chicago. I think the worst rush hour traffic I was stuck in was from going from Oakland to San Francisco, because we got caught on the bridge, and the cars damn near came to a stop on that bridge. And when you stuck on that bridge, you got nowhere to go. Whereas, you know, other towns, you get caught in rush hour traffic, you can still duck out on the side streets. So we are here to check out the factory driver challenge for Project Motor Racing, and this is the one event that I can compete in and don't have to worry about my VR acting up on me, because, you know, they're still optimizing the VR. There's a big update plan for mid-July, and I think the VR will reach a public state then, which is very hopeful. What I'm really hoping for when the VR reaches that public state is that the monitor mirror output will be working, so I don't have to use the Oculus mirror, because the more windows and the more shit I got open on this PC, the more it taxes it and the more it affects the performance of the game. So not needing to use the Oculus mirror would be huge. As it stands right now, you know, they disable the mirrors and stuff like that while they work on a couple of things. But for the most part, in single player, the game runs pretty good. When I go into a rank race, that's where the problems happen, because it starts out running pretty good, but 2, 3, 4, 5 laps into the race, the performance will go in the tank. So I definitely hope they've got that resolved by the time we get that big update mid-July. Some other things that are going on in sim racing with Automobilista 2. They've released like an old Formula DLC from the 1980s, whatever. And people been really liking that. And this weekend they are releasing the Endurance, I think it's Endurance Racing Pack Part 2 or something like that. So in endurance racing cars, I think from the 90s, it'll consist of that. And then Le Mans Ultimate through a 4th of July banner. Yeah, with that banner. Oh. Yeah, with that 4th of July banner from Le Mans Ultimate, the way the stars are aligned on that banner, they've pretty much hinted at 6 IMSA tracks, which would be starting from the top. We would have Watkins Glen, Indianapolis, Road Atlanta, Daytona, Long Beach, and Laguna Seca. All 6 of those tracks are already on R Factor 2. So if they add those tracks and they're not laser scanned to the latest tracks, I wouldn't be surprised if they port those tracks from R Factor 2 over to Le Mans Ultimate and probably just give them an extra coat of paint, extra coat of wax, you know, spruce them up a little bit. So, which will be cool. I am looking forward to that, but I can tell you right now, with those new tracks that they plan to add, Road Atlanta and Long Beach are going to be the worst ones. That slalom on Road Atlanta is where all your wrecks are going to happen, because that is the worst place to try and overtake. But we know what type of driving standards Le Mans Ultimate has, so that's where you're going to see the most wrecks. Long Beach, um, the start finish line, that kind of bending straight, that's really the only place where you can try to overtake. I've been watching a little bit of IndyCar, Shaolin, and actually the Detroit Grand Prix that I went to go see a couple of years ago was actually an IndyCar race. I went there by accident because I meant to go to the Saturday race for the GT3 hypercar race, but I thought that race was going to be on Sunday. So I bought the tickets for Sunday. And when I got there, I realized that it was an Indy race. So, but it was still a good race. I still enjoyed it no less. And these past couple of years, these races at the Detroit Grand Prix have been absolutely crazy. Honestly, some of the real life drivers have acted like video game drivers and taken stupid ass chances and caused wrecks and stuff. And Detroit is a track where a lot of wrecks can happen easily. So yeah, we got those 6 tracks. And I think the last thing I'll say before we go ahead and get into this challenge is that again, this is the factory driver challenge, and I can't exactly cut straight for a break. They did take a light-hearted shot at Le Mans Ultimate. So the factory driver challenge, a few people have participated in that this week. And I think these factory challenge, I don't know if they've had challenges on this game, but I don't know if it's been in the current format that is in right now. But I do know that a spotlight got put on their factory driver challenge because of the Le Mans Ultimate scandal with Luke Addison and the couple of other guys that conspired to artificially, what's the word I'm looking for? Set an artificial lap, probably be the best way to describe it. So yeah, they took a lighthearted shot at Le Mans Ultimate by saying, no excuses, no traffic, no quote, I didn't have the right strategy and stuff like that. So yeah, they took a lighthearted shot, which I don't mind though, because Le Mans Ultimate has taken several shots at Project Motor Racing. So no, I don't have a problem with them returning fire. So all right, so now with this factory driver challenge, actually, let me back out of it and go to the leaderboard. So with this factory driver challenge, let me jump to the top. So Boris, my friend, I think he still might be live right now. He originally set a lap time of 156.9. And today he broke that by a second. So now he's sitting at 155.9. Well, his 156.9, I was gunning for that lap. I did a lap offline, and damn, I fell down to 29th. And as you can see right here, I did a 157.5. And at the time, that was 26. Oh, I'm in the way. Let me scroll up a little bit higher so you guys can see it. Okay, so yeah, at the moment, I'm currently sitting 29th with a 157.5. At the time that Boris did the 156.9, I was only 6/10 off of his lap. And that 157.5 that I did that with a default setup. So I believe that if I use the setup, I can get into the 156s. And that's really the only problem I have with this factory driver challenge, is that you can use setups. I would like for everybody to be on the fixed default setup, because I think that makes the playing field a little more even. Now, people using setups, That's not to say that they're cheating, but I definitely think it would make the playing field more level if everybody had to use the default track setup. So, but anyway, so my original plan was to go after EJ, and I'll scroll it up a little bit because he hit a 157.7. I've been out the loop and I haven't really been able to watch much this week. So when he did that 157.7, I don't know if he was just putting around or if he gave it his all. In my case, when I did this 157.5, once the tires got warmed up and I got into a rhythm, everything just fell in place. So the way that lap went, I truly believe that I can get into the 156s. So I was aiming for Boris before he did the 155.9. He's currently sitting in 6th place, and I'm currently sitting in 29th place. So I do believe I can get into the 156s, but I'm not sure I can get it to the 155s. So we also have other challenges here on the GT4 Porsche at Silverstone, known as Northampton on this game. The LMP BMW factory driver at Spa. That I might try that. The Aston Martin factory driver at Daytona, I might give that a try. And then this GTO Mazda factory driver at Bathurst, I might give that a try too. But first things first, let's get into this. And when we get ready to go into the race, I will have to close this window and open the Oculus mirror. Otherwise, you guys won't see what I'm doing. The picture will just freeze. So here we go, folks. Open the Oculus mirror. And let me bring that over here. Take off my hat. I got the mirror open. And now I've got to close Project Motor Racing. All right, looks like we good. Let me get my gloves, all that good stuff. I think we'll use the red ones today to match my outfit. You know, this Mustang on this game is a sleeping giant because this 157.5 that I did in this Mustang is my fastest lap on this track. I think on any game, yeah, I believe it's my fastest lap on any game that has Sebring using GT3 cars. My previous fastest lap was a 158.1 with the Lamborghini, but I believe that I could get into the 157s with that car because that's another hidden gem on this game. I think on AC Evo, the Sebring over there, I don't know, I got it to like a 158.8 or something like that, which the lap times are harder to come by over there. So, all right, let's get at it. All right, folks, and here we go. Let me give this first lap away, getting warmed up. Not very good. 159.7.
At Mike 51 CFD. Sir, how's it going, Lynn?
Mike, how you doing? Yeah, I lost some time on that lap. I might be better off using the default setup. Ah! One second, folks. Yep, everything. Mr. Fly, how you doing? Give you
Ain't
one
no
of
stopping
those.
this train! Whoa!
Try this again. I think I'm actually gonna go with the default setup. Time.
At Trevcan. Sir. Hey, Lick.
Trevkin, how's it going? I'll give you one of those too.
Ain't no stopping this train! Whoa!
All right, let's try it again.
At the Mr. Fly 85. Sir. I'm good. Happy to see you stramming.
Thank you. Hold on. Looks like we got a drop. Drop. There it goes. Or is it? Yeah, we got a drop. Hold on. Yeah, we had a drop in performance. Once the performance drops, I have to take the headset off to sort of like reset it. Ah.
At the Mr. Fly 85. said. Sound of game is pretty low as well.
Okay. Hmm. All right, let me go back to the pits. And God, that's what I hate about this crap about all these updates when they mess up your settings. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Properties. No. Filters. Stop audio. See here. Yeah, the Oculus device is at 100%. Go into the audio settings. Give me a second. Settings, audio. Oh, master volume's at 41%. I guess that explains that. All right. All right. I just turned the master volume, player car volumes at 74. Okay. I just turned the master volume up to 70. Let me know how that works. And let me make sure we are on the correct audio. Oh, that explains why you guys weren't hearing anything. God damn it, these fucking... All right, now you guys should hear something. In fact, it might end up being loud, but let me know. And the game crashed. My God.
At the Mr. Fly 85 said, there is no sound.
Yeah, I figured that out
Mr.
through...
Fly 85 said, yes, now it is there.
And now the game crashed. Oh my God. Unfortunately, I noticed that the game crashes when I use the OpenXR toolkit, but the trade-off is that I can use the filter settings within OpenXR toolkit to get a sharper picture, and it runs better. And then not only that, when I turn off the TAA, yeah, the picture looks a little bit glittery, but everything...
At the Mr. Fly 85 said, orgasm aborted.
Oh yeah, I see. I got to turn that down a little bit. All right, we're booting up the game again. Just give me a second here, folks. Like the factory driver, race now, da 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 da. All right, let's try this again.
At Mike 51 CFD. Said. Hot. Humid. Knee blown up like a basketball and still racing.
Yeah.
Remember, you need to get the tyres and brakes up to temperature before you can start to push. I'll tell you when.
Well, 58 flat. I was on pace to do a 157.8. I'm not going back to the pits because I don't want to have to go through the hassle of throwing away another lap to warm up the tires. Damn. Mistake after mistake. Damn, lost even more time on that shit. I'll give it 1 or 2 more tries. I've seen it. I think I better take a break from this, because if I don't, I'm gonna start making micro mistakes, the same kind of shit that I used to complain about with Le Mans Ultimate. The bad thing about the micro mistakes on Le Mans Ultimate is the way that game was. Whenever I lost time, I really didn't know where I lost the time at, or what I did to cause myself to lose time. Games like this, Project Motor Racing, Automobilista 2, Race Room, the physics and handling of those games are as such that when I make a mistake, I see it right then and there. So the next time I approach that same spot, I already know what kind of adjustment I'm going to make. And once I reach that spot, I will see right then and there whether that adjustment worked or it did not work. Whereas with Le Mans Ultimate, I'm fishing. I'm guessing. Maybe I made a mistake at Eau Rouge. So I make a micro correction and I end up losing it. You know, I end up losing 3/10 of a second. Because again, you know, with Le Mans Ultimate, I'm fishing around. I don't know, in a lot of cases, I don't know where the mistake happened, and since I don't know where the mistake happened or why it happened, it's hard for me to correct it. So I'm just fishing around with a bunch of you know, trying a bunch of different things and see what sticks. Whereas here, I see the problem. If I make a mistake, I see the mistake right then and there. I got an idea of what type of adjustment I want to make and whether it'll work right then and there. So all right, let's do a few laps on a single player race. I've really been enjoying myself with the Acura. I'm not near as fast as I am with, say, the Lambo, the Corvette, or the Porsche, but I really do have a lot of fun driving the Acura. See here. Yeah, let's go ahead and stick with Road America. I know it's Road America, but that Rocky Knoll keeps burning into my head. So my mouth wants to say Road America, but my brain keeps seeing that Rocky Knoll. Oh shit, I forgot I made a night race out of this. Well, I guess this is a good time to see how well it'll run. So I got to take the headset off for a second.
Unfortunately,
All right, let's see what we got.
okay, mate. The track temperature has fallen since the last session. Your tyres will take longer to get into the window.
Actually, doesn't look half bad at night.
At Mike 51 CFD. Said. Plus my furry crew chief has been given a clean bill of health.
Wait, what? Your furry crew chief. Oh, okay, cool. Good to hear that. this is a 15 lap race. I'm not going to do the whole 15 laps. It's just to clear my head for a second before we go back into the factory challenge. One more lap, and then I think we'll head back to the factory challenge.
At MRD0889 said, I'm trying to improve my lap time on factory challenge with the RX-7, but I'm on H pattern and clutch.
Ah!
Holy crap, walk LOL.
Trying to overtake this car clean.
At Adrenaluke YT said, Yo Lincoln.
Trident, what's up? Ooh. I finally took him clean and lost it. So the lighting in this game isn't that bad. You see the floodlights right there with the blue coming from all of them. When it comes to racing in VR at night, boy, I think it's a toss-up between Automobilista 2 and AC Evo. Now, Automobilista 2 definitely has the sharper picture. It definitely runs better. And the one part about the lighting that I think nobody can capture that AMS2 does is the bloom. Like when I look in the rear view camera, my rear view mirrors, and see the cars behind me at night and see that bloom, I mean, it looks real. In the case of AC Evo, the track, the lighting around the track itself, where you have the different types of light emitting different levels of brightness, and so that makes it look more alive. So in that so it's a toss-up between AMS2 and AC Evo for different reasons. And I would probably put, I think the finish,
Blue flag. That's the blue flag.
so I think the finished product for Project Motor Racing, as far as the VR goes, I think once it's done, once it's fully optimized, I think it's going to be in the top 3 in terms of best looking VR at night. So I think it'll be, you know, a toss-up again between AMS2 and AC Evo, with, if you want to make them tied for first, then AC Evo would come second. So all things considered, that actually ran pretty good. All right, let's go back to the factory driver thing. Let's see, where's Boris at? Jump the top. He's still in 6th with a 155.9. And I fell all the way down to 30th. So the second fastest person on here is on console with a 154.7. That's actually amazing. So I don't know. I mean, he's on a console.
Adrenaluke YT said, Next, they need triple screen support and also better optimization for frame rate still for lower end graphics cards.
I would definitely agree with that, Adrenaluke, because on this computer here, when I'm not
Adrenaluke YT said, I still can't play PMR on my RTX 3070. Even at the lowest graphics settings, it's a PowerPoint slideshow, LOL.
Well, what headset are you using, Adrenaluke? In my case, my lowest spec PC is a 3070 Ti, 32 gigs of DDR4 with an i7 11700K. Project Motor Racing in VR, when I use the asynchronous space warp for the Quest app, for the Quest headset, it runs good, but it's running at 45 frames with 45 fake frames. Therefore, you see a lot of ghosting and a lot of double images. Whereas with this PC, the asynchronous space warp is activated, but for the most part, it runs mostly at a native 90 frames and with occasional, with some drops here and there. But if I wanted to, I could turn off the ASW and run native 90 frames. But yes, you are absolutely right. I think when they get this thing optimized, if you got a beefy PC, you're not going to have any problems. It's going to run good. It's going to look good. It's the people that are on the mid-range PCs and the people that are on the potatoes. I would have to say for potatoes, Automobile Lister 2 is definitely the best optimized racing game in VR. Automobile Lister 2 in VR looks so good on my 3070 Ti that sometimes I forget that I'm playing on my lowest spec PC. And then I go from that one over to this PC, and then the picture is even sharper with even less aliasing. So it just looks wow, the chef's kiss. All right. Let me take the headset off for a second, because that's kind of the reset mode. So sorry that you guys have to see that, but it's going to be that way until the VR reaches the public state, where hopefully again the mirror and all that stuff will be activated. So all right, let's go. This feels like a for real race car instead of a production car that's been modified for racing. But I may choose to engage the clutch for upshifting. Just to add some immersion to it. alert. I didn't realize the car's got damaged. The wheel is slightly cocked. Alright, we might as well start this over. Ah, my performance just dropped. Ah, it just went in the shitter. I don't want to do it, but I think I'm going to have to turn off the OpenXR toolkit. All right, so you guys will, I'm going to keep my headset on so you guys will see.
At Adrenaluquid said, Project Motor Racing.
Yes, sir. See here, synchronous space warp. It's on auto. Oh no, not that. I need to turn off the OpenXR toolkit. Okay. That's turned off. Let's take the headset off. Yep, I'm gonna have to close the game and start it back up.
At Adrenaluquid said, LMU is rumored to be getting 6 new tracks.
Yes, it is. Well, yes, yeah, it's more or less the Easter egg stuff that we saw.
At Adrenaluquid said, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen, Daytona, Road Atlanta, Laguna Seca, Long Beach.
Yeah, and out of those tracks, Laguna Seca and Long Beach are my two favorite tracks. I mean, not Long Beach and Road Atlanta. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's gonna be crazy on those tracks because it's already, I don't know, like in my younger years, I did not like the American tracks because I thought they had way too many turns, especially tight turns. And I've learned to like them over the years. And I mean, some of them are, you know, like about 10 years ago, I did not like Road Atlanta at all.
At Adrenaluquite said, out of those IMS is my fave because it's my home track, smiley face.
Out of those, what's your favorite track? Oh, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Okay. Oh, that's where you're from? Let's try this again. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and monkey around with the Aston Martin. So folks, you probably, after today's stream, you probably won't see too many Project Motor Racing streams from me until the VR is like fully optimized, because I don't like this mess taking the headset off. You guys see a black screen. I gotta ask you guys to bear with me for a second, and then, you know, put the headset back on, and then you guys are seeing this the main screen floating around in front of you and stuff. So yeah, and again, the Oculus mirror, that's another window that's open and it taxes the PC even more. Sounds like oh. Ooh. Damn, I just ain't very good at these hypercars.
Safe to start pushing now, mate. Tyres are good. Give it all you've got.
At Adrenaluk YT. Sick. Can you do the oval layout in PMR?
Yeah, let me do a lap or two. Ah! Yeah, I'll do the oval. What car class you want me to do? Yeah. I'll leave it there. And I know that lap is gonna be dog shit. Oh, Boris. Woo. A 133, and he's third. Yeah, hypercars just ain't my thing. Okay, Adrenaluke wanted me to do oval. Doesn't look like Daytona has an oval on here.
At Adrenaluke said, my parents were face to face with a grizzly bear in the wild this week.
Ooh.
At Adrenaluke said, oh no, I wasn't requesting it, more just curious if the game lets you do it, haha, sorry.
No problem. Yeah, let me change that time. Put it back today. You know what? I don't see people using Zolder that much. So let me take off the headset and we'll jump into some Zolder.
At Adrenaluke said, Zolder allows for close racing.
Yeah, it does.
Let's get a good launch and overtake some cars. You can do it.
At Adrenaluke said, did you hear EVO is getting Kyalami?
Yep, I did. And that's actually wonderful news. Not so much because of the particular track that they're getting, because it's another piece of content. For the game in general. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. I mean, I've alluded to this before, or outright said it before.
At Adrenaluke said, I like how EVO isn't charging for content during early access, unlike LMU.
Yeah. But sooner or later, AC Evil's gonna start charging for content too.
At Mike51CFD said, I'll have to try Daytona in the Valkyrie.
Yeah, you'll probably do a lot better than I did.
At Adrenaluquite said, I will play some GT7 tonight.
What?
But I'm already in pain. Maybe I should listen to my body.
That'd be a good idea. Woo!
At Art Vandaline said, but before it starts charging for DLC, EVO will have a great selection of tracks at launch.
It will, Art. But there's another reason I'm motivated to see AC Evo advance. I'm also going to catch up on one more movie I've been meaning to watch.
You've been given a penalty. You've got to give the time back. Slow down and move off the racing line.
Damn, I got to get back 98 seconds?
There's minor rear damage, mate. Minor rear damage. Well, that was a big hit, mate. Looks like you've lost all the aero at the rear. Hit this lap, and we'll see if we can swap it out for you. All four wheels over the white line, mate. They've given you a penalty for it.
I ain't never seen no
behind you and keep on it.
I have never seen any shit like that before. I got 90 seconds added to my time, but I never seen that before, getting hit with a 98 second, you know, the slow down to get back 98 seconds. I did not gain 98 seconds from that shit. When I cut the track, I didn't gain 98 seconds from that. So how did I have to get back 98 seconds? That's crazy. Oh, shit. Yeah. Against our better judgment.
At Carlos Angelang said, is PMR worth getting now for the VR?
The VR right now is in an experimental state. It's not as simple as plug and play. You have to go into some files and you have to type in a certain text to use the VR. If you have a beefy PC, the VR looks and runs really good. If you have a potato, it is not going to look good. And it may not run very good either. I've said this more times than I can count. I've got 3 PCs, with this one being my strongest with a 4090. My other 2 PCs have a 3080 Ti, which it runs pretty good on that PC. But my lowest spec PC has a 3070 Ti. I have to use the asynchronous space warp for the Quest headset. And I've got to turn the headset's native resolution down quite low. I have to turn it down to about 21.
At Mike 51 CFD said, Zolder is a widowmaker. That track is where Gilles Villeneuve was killed while qualifying his Ferrari F1 car in 1982.
No shit. Zolder's a very underrated track to me. I think it's a very fun track that doesn't seem to get much play. To finish answering that question about whether the VR is worth it, there's supposed to be a major update coming up here in about a week or two. It's supposed to be a mid-July update that's supposed to, I would say bring the VR to a public state. So, you know what? I should have did it today. So, hold on. Let me see who made the comment. Because if you're listening, just sit tight for a second. Okay, this is Carlos. So something I forgot to mention to you guys is that I've got a couple of keys, a couple of Giants keys for Project Motor Racing. I've had these keys for about a month and I totally forgot that I had these keys. What I think I might do is I'm definitely going to give those keys away, but I think I'm going to go back to the Loaded website and grab a third key and then give them away tomorrow. So I can stream tomorrow and give those keys away during tomorrow's stream. So that being said, Carlos, if you're still watching, tune in tomorrow and see if you can win a key. if you want to try to get the game for free. And if you end up getting one of those keys, then free is always worth it. All right, let's try a different track. Takamiya, I've tried that track. But I don't remember it all that well.
At Carlos Angelang said, like free.
Yeah, free's always a good price. So yeah, tune in tomorrow. And I'm not one of those guys that tries to handcuff or strong arm people and say you gotta be a sub. You know, I'm not one of those people that locks comments behind a subscription where you have to be a sub in order to comment, or you have to be a sub in order to grab one of these free keys. I've given away about I think I've given away about 12, 13 of these keys so far. So these coming up will be 14, 15, and 16. And me giving away keys, hey, it adds 3 more people to the game. So I think I need my gloves for this one.
Yeah, mate. Well, we didn't set.
So give me a second, folks. Get my gloves on.
Let's get a good launch. Focus on those lights.
Oh, damn it!
Splitter's gone. Box this lap. Box this lap. Come on, mate. Nail this start.
I got to get past these slower cars because their behavior is too erratic.
At Mike51CFD said, the AI stewards seem to have a case of the crags.
Yeah.
At Mike51CFD said, the crash video is YouTube.
Alright, I'll have to look into that what you're talking about. The competitive juices are starting to flow. I'm getting tempted to try a rank race, even though the performance might drop. I dropped, never mind. Oh, you know what? That came, it happened as soon as I made contact with that car. So, Carlos, if you're watching, while the VR is in the experimental stage, that might be what you'll end up dealing with, is that it'll run good. And then, I don't know, after so many laps, the performance will drop. And then it looks like it's running at like 15 frames per second. And then you have to take the headset off and put it back on, almost like a reset, in order to get it to run good again. Is it? I'm getting hungry. Let's look at this first. Damn, there's 7 people registered for this GT4 race at Kyalami. The performance is probably going to drop, but I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a shot. After this, I'll be ready to hang it up pretty soon. I'm getting hungry. How long have we been live? Damn, it's been 2 hours already. Holy shit. Oh, I never finished what I was going to say about the AC EVO getting Kyalami. AC EVO, in terms of the content, you know, the tracks and cars that they're adding, it's getting better and better. The VR is still not very good. It does not run all that good. Project Motor Racing VR runs noticeably better. But where I'm going with this is, I've said it before. At first, I felt like AC EVO didn't know what type of game it wanted to be or what direction it wanted to go in. But if they keep on adding tracks and they keep on adding GT3 cars, it could be working its way towards being an ACC Part 2. And if that happens, I think a lot of people that are on Le Mans Ultimate will go back to AC EVO, because I think a lot of people that are on Le Mans Ultimate right now came there from ACC and they contaminated that game with their bad driving habits. So I am hoping that once AC EVO reaches 1.0 and the game will be good enough that through low fuel motorsports or whatever the case may be, they have ranked races and some of those people will migrate back over to AC EVO and Le Mans Ultimate will become a competitive but respectful game again. Because right now it's like, you know, I feel like I'm playing a Road Warrior with that damn game. I've lost a lot of taste for that game. Pause. Oh shit, GT4's on Mount Panorama. Last time it was Kyalami.
At Carlos Angalang said, used to like LMU, but grip at the limit is frustrating.
Oh, you got that right. That's another reason why I stopped playing LMU so much, because I got sick and tired of having to give away 4 or 5 laps waiting for the tires to warm up. By the time they start to warm up, you only got about 3 or 4 more laps of optimal grip before it starts losing grip. I've grown tired of these unpredictable laps where I've said it earlier in this stream, where the mistakes that I'm making, I don't know where I'm doing it at or how I'm doing it. Whereas this game, the handling and physics is as such that I see what I'm doing wrong as it happens. And it's a lot easier for me to correct it. With Le Mans Ultimate, I'll do a couple of laps and I'll see that the lap time is shitty. So I start guessing where I might have made some mistakes at. And I'm like, okay, I think I might have been slow through this corner. Let me try something. When I get to that corner, I'll try something and it just won't work. So I come through that corner again, I try something different. You know, it still doesn't work. In fact, I'm losing time. Again, with Project Motor Racing, Automobilista 2, Race Room, the physics and handling on those games are as such that when I make a mistake, I see it right then and there. I know where I made the mistake. I know what kind of mistake I made. So the next time I approach that corner, I can try something, I can make an adjustment, and if it doesn't work, then the adjustment is usually pretty easy. Brake a little sooner, brake a little later. Then the other thing about the handling of Project Motor Racing, it is such that I can be aggressive. I can be aggressive without fear. I can't be aggressive on Le Mans Ultimate because I'm still trying to figure out where the mistakes are happening at. With this game, when I know where the mistakes are happening at, I know exactly where I can be aggressive at and know exactly where I gotta chill out at.
Good luck, mate. Full send. Full send.
At Carlos Angelang said, "You convinced me to revisit ACC in VR. It got better with DLSS preset M. Even played some LFM in ACC."
I still think, as far as PC goes, I still think Automobilista 2 is king in VR. So if you can deal with the slidey physics that people complain about with Automobilista 2, you'll get the best VR experience from Automobilista 2.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag. Minutes remaining in the session.
All right.
At Carlos Angelang said, AMS2 is the VR king.
Absolutely. It is absolutely the VR king. And what blows me away is how people that have tried GT7 on PSVR 2, how they think that's the best looking VR and say it isn't even close, and then you find out that they haven't even tried any of the other racing games in VR. To me, I've given my thoughts on the various racing titles in VR number of times. Automobilista 2 is the king. End of story. But all the other games, a case could be made that they would be the best looking game if it weren't for this or if it weren't for that. And in the case of GT7 on PSVR 2, I dare say that if GT7 was on PC, depending on how they would optimize it on PC, it could be the best looking racing game in VR on PC, because not only would you have a more powerful device to run it, you would also have a much better headset, because the PSVR 2, those Fresno lenses are obsolete that they use. Most headsets these days, pancake lenses are the standard. Any headset these days that, like where I'm at right now, like if a headset doesn't have pancake lenses, I won't buy it. F122. Up close, probably has the sharpest picture and the most detail in VR, but the distance is soft and borderline blurry. So if it weren't for that, F126 would be the best looking racing game in VR. Race Room, a very clean picture, and with the settings that I have, no aliasing. I think the Race Room looks old, even with these new graphics that they got, I think last year or whenever it was. It still looks a little bit old compared to the other racing games, but it still looks good in VR, so it has its place. AC EVO in VR looks grainy, but I like the way it looks in VR. It just doesn't run good. And what else? What other racing game do we have in VR? Le Mans Ultimate runs good. Has a sharp picture, but I think the tracks look kind of bland. When it comes to, like, I would say Forza Motorsports, AC EVO, and Project Motor Racing, the tracks look the most alive on those games, because you don't get, it's more than just a track there. You've got flags, you got flags and banners and stuff everywhere. That has a carnival type atmosphere. And yeah, you've got that festival looking atmosphere that makes it look more alive. And then with AC EVO, with that grainy look that it has in VR, the streets look, the road itself, the asphalt looks the most realistic. It doesn't look like a gray tarp. It looks like an actual track, with the details of the cracks and small potholes and stuff in AC EVO. So yeah, in that aspect, looks the most alive. AC EVO, Forza Motorsports, believe it or not, and Project Motor Racing. Keep getting these notifications about low batteries. Ooh, excuse me. Now, when I give away these keys tomorrow for Project Motor Racing, they're going to be Giants keys, and what I'm going to end up having to do is show you guys the screenshot of the code, and then from there you guys will have to type it in into the Giants download portal, the Giants software download portal. So when I go live, I will put a link to the portal in the description, and I will pin it. I will pin the link also in the chat. And so when I show you guys the code, you know, click on the link to open up the Giants software download portal, and then you type the code into that portal.
We're at the back for the race. Gonna be a tough one.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's go. So folks, I do not expect to make it through this race, because I expect the performance to crash, but we'll see. And looking over here to my left, you know, looking up and looking inside this car, the VR for this game looks just as good as any other game.
Focus on the line. Yellow flag. That's the yellow flag.
I don't trust this guy. I'm gonna let him go. Really? Guy tried to run me into the wall. Guy ended up pit maneuvering himself. Just like that, I'm already up in third. he's got damage. Some serious damage. So much to the point that I'm worried he might try to take me out if I overtake him.
Fastest lap of anybody. Great driving, mate. Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
Oh, wow! I'm in the lead for the moment. Oh my God. I got greedy. See how much damage I did. Wheel slightly cocked to the right. I should have left well enough alone.
Just pumped in the fastest lap.
At S6 Lee Woodman said, "That neutral steering is insane, looks good though, man."
Thank you.
At Art Vandally said, "How is FOV set in VR? Does it naturally set it, or do you have number that you can change?"
I think with the in the case of this Oculus Meta Quest headset, you can go into the Oculus debug tool, and I think you could play around with the FOV.
Final lap. Keep pushing to the checkered flag. Stay sharp.
Ah, damn it. I don't think I did any extra damage to the car, though. Hey, I got the win.
Sensational result. That's the race win. See you on the podium.
All right. Hey, and I was able to get through a whole lap and the performance didn't drop. So, hey. All right. Well, folks. All right, let's close this. And open that back up. All right. Shit. It's cold in here now with the AC. All right, my leg is sore with all that shifting from the clutch. Yeah, I'll be back sometime tomorrow, and I'll definitely at least give those 2 keys away that I already have for Project Motor Racing, and I'll see about buying another one tonight and give away a total of 3 keys. What I don't know is when I'm going to go live. I normally have to pick my son up around 2 o'clock Eastern time. So I'll either go live in the morning, I don't know, maybe around 9 a.m. Eastern time, or after I get back from picking them up, which could be around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So those are the 2 time slots that we're looking at tomorrow, either 9 a.m. Eastern time or around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching. I didn't come anywhere near close to catching up to Boris in terms of the factory driver challenge. I guess probably I'll try it again offline, off of YouTube, and see if I could at least get into the 156s and let you guys know how it turned out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Boy, that J2 Pro Cup looks pretty good too, at Kyalami. But thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. See you on the next one. I'm going to head on out, go grab a bite to eat, and we'll see you sometime tomorrow. Until then, you all know the line. Go way up here. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon.